Welcome back to the Retro Class channel. It's me, Retro. How you doing? And today we're talking about everybody's favorite ballin' on a budget store, Aldi's. You know, the store where you can find random stuff like hiking boots and even kitchenware right next to the broccoli. But despite the low prices, some people still have mixed feelings about it. So what's up with that, right? I wanted to get into that. You know, the secrets behind Aldi's prices and why some of us have a love-hate relationship with that store, and understandably why. Okay, so here's the thing about Aldi's. If you're loyal to name brands, Aldi's is probably gonna let you down. But if you're looking for your favorite, cereal or laundry detergent, you'll probably find like an Aldi's version of it. Instead of Coke, you might get Thunder Cola. Instead of Gain, you might get Addition detergent. You get the idea. The jokes aside, you shouldn't expect all the name brands you would normally find at traditional stores at Aldi's. If you want to break it down, right? Some of the key factors of Aldi's marketing, I'd have to say, would be efficiency, private labels, and bare bones staffing. So let's cut into this whole strategy and talk about why Aldi's works on a certain level. Private labels. Aldi's has around 1,400 products versus the potentially 40,000+ you'd find at a major supermarket, say Walmart, Target. That's not just making it easier to find things on you, it also cuts costs on storing, transporting, and stocking. Most of these products are Aldi owned brands, which is way less to stock compared to big brand stores. According to Insider, these private labels could be up to 50% cheaper than their name brand counterparts. I think a good example of this would be like going from a fancy restaurant to a food truck. Essentially, it's the same food. Obviously, you're just not getting all the razzle dazzle and the fanciness, but you pay for what you get. If I'm going to a food truck, it's gonna be cheaper than going to a 4-star restaurant. And since we're already talking about, lowering bills and the prices for stuff, that would mean there'd be less money for hiring people on staff all the time, which leads into efficiency and layouts and staffing. As anyone who's ever worked in a small retail store, you tend to notice that the store normally has maybe 2 to 3 people on any given shift. Aldi's is no different. And to dive even deeper into that, you've probably noticed that Aldi's is simple, straight aisles, and it's just you go in, you get what you want, and you get out. By having these small foot traffic areas and fewer aisles, they keep the rent and maintenance low. That's why they can manage with so few employees. All these employees are also multitasking masters. Like I said earlier, anyone who's ever worked at a small retail store knows you are doing 7 people's jobs instead of just your one. They stock, they clean, they cashier. They're still faster than most people at any given job because they have to be. You wonder how serious all these employees are? When you walk into Aldi's, there's no music, there's no samples, it's just pure unfiltered shopping. You're never gonna hear a top 100 song playing out at Aldi's, and as an ex-retail employee, that alone is worth the visit every time. I'm tired of hearing top 100 pop songs at work. It's annoying. Another way Aldi saves money so your food is cheaper there, the quarter. The power of the quarter cannot be underestimated at Aldi's. Because of the quarter, they never have to worry about people potentially stealing carts. For some reason, even though it's just a quarter, you have to put it in to get a cart. And you would think it's like, whatever, it's just a quarter. But a lot of people want that quarter back. And because of that simple setup, they save on paying people to retrieve carts just by doing that. That's one of the ways Aldi saves money. Another way Aldi saves money so your food is cheaper is on bag. And you would think having to buy your own bags out at Aldi's would turn a lot of people off to the experience. But you realize after saving so much money on food, if I gotta buy a bag, it's not the end of the world because everything else was so cheap. Apparently doing this saves Aldi's millions on supplies yearly. Now while they're saving money and making sure food's more affordable for everyone, it comes with a downside unfortunately, and this is what I'm gonna have to talk about now. Okay, so let's get into why some people aren't quite sold on Aldi's. I'd have to say first one, the big one, is limited name brands. If you're loyal to brands, Aldi might not be your first choice. Their shelves are mostly stocked with Aldi's versions of popular products, so if you're looking for Cheerios, you might find Toasted Oats. According to some surveys, brand loyalty is a big factor for a lot of shoppers, especially if they're used to specific taste. Imagine showing up to a barbecue with Thunder Cola instead of Coca-Cola. You might get cooked along with the food. I'm just saying. And let's be honest, Aldi's is not the most visually stunning store. There's no frills, there's no samples, you're not gonna see any weird mascots or any kooky fun stuff like that. Aldi's is a grocery store, point blank, and that's okay. But for a lot of people, they kind of like the thrills of seeing hustle and bustles in a grocery store. No flashy 50% off ads here because everything else is cheap. Buy 2, get 1 free yada yadas because everything else is relatively affordable. They don't need to rely on gimmicks, and a lot of people like gimmicks. That's why gimmicks exist. It's like grocery shopping with blinders on. You only see the prices. You don't really see anything else on the side until you get to the checkout, and then you're just like, oh, hey, well, there's a random Snickers. I'm going to just add that to my cart for no reason. It's going to happen. And speaking of the checkout, another drawback for some people is speedy checkouts. All these cashiers are fast. They go through the line quicker than almost any other grocery store. But this speed also comes with a trade-off. Just scan it up, and it's up to you to figure out how to pack everything. A lot of people don't like having to pack everything in their own bags and or boxes that they bring with them. At traditional stores, they're putting everything in the bag for you. At Aldi's, it's just back in the cart. End of the story. That's on you, and a lot of people kind of don't like that. The worst part of this for me personally is me wondering if I can carry all this to my car in a bag or if I have to buy a bag. It's always that dilemma because they're either too fast for me to think about it and I just kind of FOMO buy a bag. And it's like, well, now I have another Aldi's bag, i.e. another trash bag. So I talked about the negatives. Let me talk more about the positives. So why do people love Aldi's? The prices are unbeatable, especially in a world where everything's getting more and more expensive. Once again, the dollar menu is gone. I need y'all to rationalize that. It's so crazy that it is gone. This is the dystopia they warned us about as children. Jokes aside, Aldi consistently offers prices 15 to 20% lower than most traditional grocery stores. For people on a budget, that's real money back in their pockets. According to recent customer reports, budget-friendly shoppers have saved significant amounts of money each year just by shopping at Aldi's alone. If you're on a tight budget, Aldi's is like the best friend who shows up, tells you they're getting food, and asks if you want anything.
Hey, bro, I'm about to order some food. You want some? Oh, no, bro, I ain't even got no money right now. Fool, I ain't asked you if you had no money. I said, are you hungry? You want a cheeseburger with some fries? Yeah, man. Appreciate that. What kind of drink you want? Dr. Pepper? All right, cool. What's wrong with people? Love that dude, man.
But you have to say no because you have no money. And then the friend replies with, I didn't ask you to pay. Don't worry about it. That's Aldi's. That's the friend. Another reason people love Aldi's is probably the aisle of shame. While doing research, I happened to find that there's a Facebook group about Aldi's aisle of shame. Aldi has this middle aisle where you can find everything from gardening gloves to waffle makers. It's a treasure hunt practically, and people love it. It's called the aisle of shame because you often walk into it with nothing, but you always kind of leave with something you don't need. But honestly, when prices are that low, who cares if you buy a multi-layer waffle iron? Who cares? It was like 20 bucks. Treat yourself. So that's Aldi's. The store with low prices, not much going on inside, and the occasional hiking booth next to the broccoli. Aldi's may not be the most luxurious grocery store, but it's efficient, cost-effective, and sometimes it's what we need. We're on a budget. Thanks for tuning in. And, let me know in the comments, what's the weirdest thing you potentially bought from Aldi's or any other store? Just kind of any weird stuff. I'd love to know. I'd love to see it and talk about it with you. So just leave a comment, like and subscribe, and maybe you'll save a little cash next time you're here. Thanks for coming. Okay, as always, at the end of these videos, let's talk about why I did what I did in this. This video was actually going to be something Thanksgiving based, tied to timestamp this video. Thanksgiving is this month and around the corner, so I wanted to do something food related. And as someone who is also, kind of on a budget, had to think about it. Like, well, let me talk about other things. This isn't me saying I'm going to pull up to Thanksgiving with Thunder Cola or any other off-brand Aldi's food. But if I do, you will not know, and it's okay. So guys, if you want to pull up with some off-brand Aldi's food, you can do it. You just don't tell anybody. But who cares, right? It's Thanksgiving. As long as you're thankful and giving, who cares? So yeah, that was it. Thanks for watching if you got this far. Enjoy the rest of your day. I don't have a good way to end these yet. All right, bye.